All right, hello. Today, talking about the body as a temple. So, my studies this morning, my Bible study this morning, so sharing every day on what I studied in the morning. And in my Bible study this morning, God reminded me about our body as His temple, where He dwells. And yeah, that got me thinking, like, what is a temple? What's the point of a temple? And what is a temple like? What should it be like? And it's like a place where we commune with God. It's a place of order and beauty and intention, union, communion with God. It's sacred. It's very special. And it's not just for any old thing. It's for a purpose. And then I went on to study that I want to be a vessel of honor. I want this temple to be built with honor for God. And I've also learned that unless God builds this temple, it's not going to be built well. Lots of things about building for me lately. So unless God builds your temple, unless you build your house on the rock of Christ, if you keep Christ at the center of your temple, that life-giving spirit that dwells in us, He can well up inside of us and create and help us build this temple. So Christ dwells in us. He dwells in me. This body is His temple. I honor and love Him when I treat it well and when I work to build it and make it beautiful. Life itself, vigor, physical power, abundance, healing, the source of our life wells up within us in this temple. And so for too long in different parts of my life, I've pursued things other than honoring God, respecting the fear of the Lord, that respect, the deep respect that leads to all wisdom. It was kind of half in, half out. Some things pursuing the ways of evil or degeneracy versus the way of life. And candidly, I'm at a point in my life where, and with what God's doing with me, and I think we should all be this way, but I'm just tired of being divided in that. And I just want to be all in on Christ and Him building this temple. And we're here on earth, and for us to enjoy earth and for us to be here and be at peace and experience everything in life, it happens here. It happens in the body. It happens in this thing. And I want that to be as amazing as possible. I want to commune with God in this temple. And I know that for God to be a place, it needs to be holy, it needs to be true, it needs to be pure, it needs to be sacred. And I don't understand fully the mystery yet right now, but I do know that for whatever reason, we also have choice in this. We have will, we have free will to choose. And I thought I was choosing wisdom in many ways, but I've discovered that, and candidly looking back, it wasn't wisdom. I was building my house on sand, as Jesus would say, versus building it on Him as the rock. And so when the storms came, the floods came, it washed away. And even though I think there were many things that I was doing with wisdom, there was a lot that I wasn't. Again, that division, a house divided against itself can't stand. And that's what I've experienced. And so I think keeping that focus on the fear of the Lord as the beginning of wisdom. And in this case, that word fear, it means an honoring, a deep respect, a humbling of oneself. So much so that you pause, that you're in awe of this other being, and being in awe of the Christ, being in awe of Him. That's the beginning of wisdom. That's the wisdom that I want. That's the wisdom I want for you. So my encouragement to you is to build this temple that you have, and build it in God's name and God's wisdom, having the fear of the Lord, the deep respect, and willing to come and be a student of Christ, and allowing Him to build your temple. Because when you are seeking that and you're building that way, you'll be building on the rock. You'll be building with wisdom that surpasses any understanding. And that will lead to peace. It will lead to communion between you and God. It'll lead to an amazing place. All right, my friends, be blessed.